The first of the biggest leaks in Dokkan history that I want to take a look at is the 250 million download celebration. The name of the celebration has evolved a lot from the download celebration to worldwide to now the global Dokkan campaign. But this released in 2018. If you guys played back then, this is the Transforming Goku and Transforming Frieza celebration with a Part 2 LR of being the Tech Go Frieza, one of probably the most hyped Part 2 releases in the game's history, not of all time, but definitely up there for sure. But the reason why this is such a big leak is because in this video, you see some regular gameplay going on right now, just playing with the units, but you're going to see in just a second, I'm going to have the audio muted, it's just going to be in the background, where Truth is going over the details with some of his pals then, over the entire event's celebration 8 days before it even went live. The Dual Dokkan Fest for the Goku and Frieza released the 31st of August, right? This stream, because Truth streamed this, was August 23rd, 2018. 8 days before the celebration even went live. Not only did we know that the Dual Dokkan Fest was a Goku and Frieza that transformed 5 stages, we also knew that there was a new Ginyu event, a world tournament. We knew that there was an EZA for the AGL Piccolo that you obtained through the Ginyu event. We also knew that there was an LR Goku and Frieza releasing on the 13th of September with EZA Jiren. The EZA Jiren, of course, being that event. You technically didn't EZA Jiren, you just fought Jiren as like a raid boss. But the point is this entire celebration was leaked start to finish 8 days before it even dropped. Leaks were a big problem in early day Dokkan, but this was ridiculous. Imagine knowing, again, luckily I wasn't big on the internet, so I didn't even know this actually, but the entire celebration was leaked 8 days before. You know how crazy that would be right now? It would destroy the hype of the 10th anniversary of the Global Dokkan campaign if we knew that much advance. Oh wait, I think we do. Yep, that's right. Even though leak culture was a big thing back in 2018, things have not changed that much. But it's not even leak culture, it's just now the game devs shooting themselves in the foot. The next one is the LR AGL Super Gogeta, and this was so easy to avoid. I understand that they may be like, well, why should we have to avoid putting these in the files? You know, we want to put it in as fast as possible just to have it in the game, ready to go, everything's smooth and good sailing, or whatever the reason for it is, but they have to know by now that every single time there's a data download drop, like, they have to be paying attention to YouTube, right? Like, seeing all the content that comes out as soon as they put it in the files. It's not even in-game yet. We have early showcases. We have all, like, it's like they don't pay attention to that stuff, and maybe there's a reason for that, but anyways, the point I'm trying to get across this is they dropped the Dokkan Fest medal of AGL Super Gogeta. Well, it was just Super Gogeta. We didn't know it was AGL, but Super Gogeta in the data download for Part 1. So as soon as we saw all the stuff for Super Vegito and Evolution Blue Vegeta and for GT Goku, that's right, for GT Goku and them, right? You saw the medal of Super Gogeta just laying right there, and we already knew he was going to be the Dokkan Fest LR based off the themes and stuff. We knew it was going to be a tag unit, so it really was not that hard to figure out. Oh, okay, well that takes away from a lot of predictions, especially because they gave us a roadmap, right, to kind of predict who could we see from these different arcs. Is Super Gogeta? Is it going to be Super Gogeta, or is it going to be something else we could see? Right, there were so many possibilities, and they shot a lot of that hype down as soon as they just put Super Gogeta in the files. So again, even though, yes, the 250 million downloads is pretty egregious, the entire celebration leaked, but I mean, leaking your Dokkan Fest LR for Part 2 definitely destroys some hype, and everyone's just like, I'm waiting for Gogeta, I'm waiting for Gogeta, how good is he going to be, where's Gogeta, right? So that just, it was not a good move by them. And just like I mentioned in the 250 million downloads kind of segue, when I was like, oh, you know, the 10th anniversary and the Global Dokkan campaign wouldn't be hype if they leak stuff. Yeah, we have physical Omega Shinron, who also got leaked in the same year as Super Gogeta, dude. It's like, again, the other units we're going to talk about in this video, right, were leaked by other people, you know, other files maybe and stuff like that. But this one they did to themselves. Physical Omega Shinron's art was inside of JP Dokkan Battle's game as part of the Part 1 data download. Or actually, it wasn't part of the data download, I'm sorry. But it was, I guess, when they were doing all that stuff, they were getting ready in preparations for Part 2, I suppose. And I don't know who's working on the burst mode stuff, because the burst mode updates are not a part of the data download. It actually is an external thing where they upload it on their own end and it comes in the game. So for some whatever reason, I guess when they were all in the rush of uploading information and stuff, they accidentally uploaded the Omega Shinron file to burst mode. So it was in game. The LR art of Omega Shinron was in the burst mode file over the old Omega Shinron, art, and he was right there in the game just for you to see. So it was so egregious because like they leaked it themselves. It wasn't like Super Gogeta, yes, it's a data download asset, sure, but the physical Omega Shinron, they did it themselves, and it was in people's games. That's awful. Like that's next level bad. That's like Legends leaking bad. It's atrocious. I mean, it was fine. I mean, we still had time to speculate, like, oh, what's the carnival going to be? Is it going to be Gogeta, Tag, Super Saiyan Force? So they left a little bit of imagination there, but definitely narrowed down what we were expecting in part 2. But also, in its own way, it kind of created more hype, at least for this one. The next unit we're looking at has to be one of the craziest things that has ever happened in Dokkan history. We had the official card art of LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in our faces. And we never even believed it. That's crazy. That's not shocking. I guess we look at the history of things and amazing things are right in front of people and they never believed it. But here we get to look at LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and STR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in front of people's faces. Now, granted, there was no context, right? I'm pretty sure from what I'm seeing here and what I remember, it was just a card art, right? So there wasn't like a lot of context of, oh, this is the 4th anniversary units, oh, these are coming soon, or oh, whatever. Like there wasn't a ton of information like that could have made it happen this way, right? So for what we see here, it's just the 2 images. But as a lot of people were like, is this fan made? Is this real? Like the shading, this looks too official to be fan made. But we don't know, right? We just don't know is this Dokkan? Is this really Dokkan? Kind of that meme, like, this is Dokkan? Is this actually Dokkan? Or is this a fan-made creator who's learned to polish in the same style and draw in the same style as Dokkan? But clearly later on, right, it eventually turns out that, yes, these are the Year 4 LR arts, which is even crazier because we had it in front of us. We saw it, we got to look at it, and we just didn't even believe that these were the 4th Annie LRs. And we had it way before the 4th anniversary even started, which is even crazier to know that we knew who the headliners were months in advance. We just never believed it. Alright, the next unit that ended up being a big leak was the LR Fizz Evokin card coming up for the Tanabana celebration. Now, they also mentioned, this is Garesh's video where he talks about the leaks. I think this is from Team Dokkaner's website back in the day. But basically, he also talks about how Gogeta Blue from the 5th anniversary also got leaked, which is pretty big. I think I'm just going to note that in here as well. I didn't have it on my original list, but I'm just going to note it here. That's a pretty big leak, is the 5th year anniversary figure, which would be Gogeta Blue. But anyways, I'm gonna move on here. So yes, the LR Fizz Evokin got leaked. He basically has this article of like just kind of going through like what to expect from the Tanabata celebration as we come up to it, and then leaked that the next unit is LR physical Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. And I remember this one specifically myself. A lot of these leaks, I had to kind of go back, like, oh yeah, that's right, oh yeah. Because remember, leaks were very common back in the day. I mentioned this earlier, leaks were very common in early Dokkan. So, it's not crazy that some of these bigger celebrations also got leaked, but the Super Saiyan Blue, the Evokin card, was one of my notorious ones, because again, it's like, holy crap, they're releasing a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta card together. That's really hype. And, because again, like, this is still kind of riding off the hype of what was going on more recently with DBS and all that stuff. Now we're 7 years removed from the anime, and it's just like, okay, it was hype, 6 years ago, but, I kind of want to look at some of the older stuff. But yeah, I was extremely hyped, because like, holy crap, that's a huge unit to lead the Tanabata celebration. I'm very hyped for that, to summon for it. So yeah, I mean, again, there was not much more layers to it, more to the fact that they just leaked that this unit was coming. and for a big celebration, of course. And again, I also mentioned the Gogeta Blue as well. But yeah, I mean, a pretty hyped unit that ended up getting leaked right before the celebration started. Again, it's cracked down a little bit more on leaks, but there definitely is some leeway for leaks to get through. All right, the next leak that ended up being pretty massive was the 7th year anniversary part 1 headliners were leaked. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I actually cannot believe the fact that these guys got leaked. Again, luckily for me, I really was not big in online Dokkan yet. I mean, I started uploading in 2023. I mean, I watched videos, but I just don't remember seeing leaks about these guys, particularly. Like, I did watch a lot of Dokkan on YouTube even then, but I guess I just avoided big leaks and stuff. I'm not really sure how, but essentially what happened here is the Year 7's first got semi-leaked due to the tags in the upcoming live stream. These guys got leaked 2 days before the actual reveals, or I think maybe a day before, because they released 2 days after they leaked. So I'm not 100% certain what exactly the timing was, but this was before the stream essentially, right? So basically, the tags were Goku, Vegeta, and Gogeta. Okay, so maybe a fusing Goku and Vegeta into Gogeta. But, you know, maybe we don't know exactly what Gogeta we're going to see. Is it only Gogeta, right? What are we exactly seeing in the celebration? Well, it gets a lot worse, because when you look later in this video, it's going to show right here, he's working on files that were inside of the global database for months now, according to Kawhi. Kawhi was saying that this has been here for a while, and you can read it. It says Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta are Evokin and Final Flash, which is Dragon Fist and the Final Shine Attack. So I said Final Flash, but Final Shine Attack, sorry. And then also you can look down here, it says LR Super Saiyan God Goku and LR Super Saiyan God Vegeta active skill. And then it says Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta counter. Like, dude, like, if now, knowing the units now, looking back at this is just copied. Like, this is the exact, it's just the unit, right? That's their 18P. That's the active skill for the gods. That's the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta counter. Like, that just tells you, first of all, these guys fuse, that there's LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Goku, and the LR gods. So we already know, like, even Truth's thumbnail was LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta and LR God Goku and Vegeta. Before the live stream was even up, we knew who these units were. But not only that, unlike, you know, the Evokin leak, or unlike the Gear 4's leak, we knew the stuff they were doing. We knew that the Goku and Vegeta had the Dragon Fist and the Final Shine Attack. We knew Gogeta had a counter. Like, there was just a lot of things that just added on and on and on and on to the fact that we knew exactly what we were expecting. And it was in the global database, which is even crazier. Like, it just shows you how unpolished everything was. You know, and then, then the rest of the video is just Truth speculating what we could see, of course, but it's just insane to even consider the fact that we basically knew everything about this unit before it even happened, which is crazy. But yeah, this is not this is pretty bad, but just wait for the next section. All right, the final unit I want to look at today is actually the part 2 to the 7th anniversary. And it's not going to be as big as part 1. Again, part 1, we already knew what the units were doing. We knew what the pairs were looking like. They're fusing. There was a lot to it. This one's an I Seriously leak, so this is not really huge. But it's just, I included it on this list because it's funny that part 1 got leaked and then part 2 got leaked. So essentially, just like the 250 million download celebration, we knew all 4 headliners before they dropped in-game. We knew the part 1 units before they dropped. We knew the part 2 units before they dropped. So really good job by Dokkan there, especially because this is later on too. Again, they're kind of tightening down a bit more on what they were doing, but just struggled to do so, man. They were not tight about it here during a pretty pivotal celebration. Granted, it was still very hype at the end of the day, but it was pretty interesting to see how they attacked it and just were not careful about leaking stuff to the community. But the final units were the LR STR Kaioken Goku and the LR Tech Fairy Vegeta. All I seriously posted was the Kamehameha Kaioken Goku and the Gallic Gun from the Vegeta. Both of them were showing their attacks, and that was it. But again, we didn't know anything else. We didn't know the Kaioken Goku had a Spirit Bomb. We didn't know the intro. We didn't know their typing. We didn't know their kits. Right? We didn't know that stuff. And there are leaks like that, by the way. Like, I mean, for example, I saw a video like DBS Gogeta's whole kit and the Full Power Broly's whole kit leaked before they even came out. So, I mean, you could throw them on this list too. But I'm kind of looking at major celebrations, which is why all these units on this list are either from the worldwide download celebration or anniversary, right? That's the only reason I didn't put some stuff like that, because those are pretty big leaks, but essentially Gogeta and Broly are just a New Year celebration, right? I mean, it's big, but we're talking about anniversary and the Global Dokkan Campaign, which are the two biggest celebrations throughout the entire year. And as we look back at it, man, they've had some pretty big leaks throughout this game's history. The first one being the most egregious of all, like just literally leaking everything right away, 8 days before it drops, is the most insane leaking incident I have ever seen in this game's history. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys agree with some of the stuff on this list? Do you guys wish there was ones we visited a little bit more on? Do you guys wish we kind of ventured into monthly leaks like Super Boo or stuff like that? But anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you guys enjoy the voice content, the first link is to all my voice content, and the second one's to all of my Dokkan Battle content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.